Hello, my love. It's Rachel here. I hope you're having an amazing day, wherever you are. Here in Canada, we are in the beginning of spring. Today has been a rainy day here, so I thought that would be fantastic to sit here and share with you about two tarot decks that they have been helping me to take decisions when it comes to my business, and it was unexpected. I didn't expect to use these decks like that, right? So the first deck is the Paulina Tarot. It's Paulina by Paulina Cassidy. The Paulina Tarot came to my collection several years ago. I don't even remember when. I got this deck and then I went through the cards, and I didn't feel the call to work with this deck at that moment. But I didn't feel the call like, oh, it's not for me. Nothing like that. I told her, you're going to sit here on my shelf, and when the right moment comes, we're going to work together, and the right moment is here. It's been here for the past few months. So it's funny because for some reason, when I was doing some readings, I had this kind of a gut feeling, this intuition that this deck would work for business. I don't know. And then what I do, I ask the deck, I asked her, would you like to work with me when it comes to help me with my inspiration around my business? No. Do you want to work with me when it comes to strategy around my business? She said yes, right? And then I asked, do you want to work with clients now? Do you want to do this? Do you want to work in my personal journey now? I asked them. And the deck answers. And she gave me a huge yes when I asked about the strategy of my business. So when it comes to defining price points, or better saying, I do decide the price points, thinking and taking in consideration, analyzing my business as a whole. But then I have a few options. And then I asked her about the options that I had. And then she answers. And another thing about this tarot, about this deck, is that she's not being loving when it comes to my business and this conversation that we have been having. She's not being sweet and things like that. No, she's being she has been calling me out of my BS, things okay, stop talking about it, just go and do it. What's your problem? Why you don't want to do that? Just do it. And it's been fantastic. It's been really, really fantastic. Maybe we would think that, I love Paulina Cassidy's artwork. I have another of her decks and another of her tarot decks, the Joie de Vivre, and I have a fairy oracle as well. I love her artwork, but because it is a little more to the busier side, we can say, maybe you'd think, oh, it's not good for career or for something more rational or strategic, and I feel like it is exactly the opposite. Sometimes my busiest decks, they are the ones that work the best for this kind of questions, especially business and career related. So she has been helping me. She's fantastic. I love this deck. And she has been helping me a lot. And the cardstock quality. Let's talk about the cardstock quality. I saw some people saying that the new decks now, these people are saying they feel like cardstock has going downhill. And I must tell you that I have been feeling that as well. So I really love some of my old decks because of that. The other deck that came in a more obvious way to work with my intuitive part of my business is the Muse Tarot. So, in 2000, I started working as a spiritual mentor and teacher, personal development teacher back in 2013. In 2015, I had one mentor, and he introduced me to the idea of the Muse. And since then, I started working with the, it was upside down, with the Muse archetype in my work. It was primarily around relationship, because that's what that's what made me go through my huge transformation back 2012, and what inspired me to start sharing about in 2014. And then I took this archetype, the Muse archetype, and I built something around that, something that was meaningful for me. Because over the years, I have been working with several women, like hundreds of amazing women. And I had a course called Soul Muse, where we would work with all the, we use the term world model, like changing the world model around ourselves, around the relationship, and awakening the muse within. And then, as over the years working with this archetype, I started noticing that we do, especially women, but everybody, we allow ourselves to be inspired by others. So other men and especially other women. But it's very rare that we allow us to be inspired by ourselves. For some people, it might even feel like a little snob and the opposite of humble. It's ugly. How can you say that you're inspired by yourself? Who are you to say that? And then I started understanding how important was that. It's not about being like a feeling that you are better than other people. It's nothing like that. But I think that it's important that we are able to look at ourselves, our story, our history, our challenges, the way we face challenges, our qualities, our shadow, and that we get inspired by ourselves. That our own journey can inspire us to keep going. I'm not saying, not at all, that we should not get inspired by other people. Of course, we will. Look, her face and the fox's faces. It's interesting, isn't it? So we will be inspired by other people. But the challenge is finding inspiration inside ourselves, right? And my story with this deck is that I would go to my local bookstore, and every time, like during a whole year, I would go there, see this deck, Muse, because of course this name is important for my work, for me personally as well. I would look and, Muse Tarot, I would grab it. Then I would look, collage, that style, no, it doesn't, I don't like it, I don't feel drawn to this. And then I would put back. Then I would go there again, I would see, every single time, and I would never buy this deck. Then, not long time ago, I started opening up to collage decks, and I started adding collage decks to my collection. And then for some reason I saw this deck again, and I said, you wanna know what, I'll give it a try, and I'm so glad I did. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. I feel that in some way this is a fun deck. I feel like this deck, she doesn't take her so seriously, you know, like sometimes we take ourselves so seriously. Oh, we are moody, and how can you laugh, or how can you say that about me, or how can I change my mind around something because I take myself so seriously. I feel like the Muse tarot, she doesn't take herself that seriously. She's fun, but she's powerful. And maybe one of her biggest powers, maybe her biggest power is, in being fun. She's fun, she's inspiring, she's nice, and she's different. I don't have any other deck like this in my collection, so I have been opening up myself for new things since last year, and it's been fantastic. So she has been helping me when it comes to inspiration. So she helps me to align my offerings, like who is going to benefit from this offering, what kind of language should I use, you know. So she helps me to bring inspiration, a clarity about the inspiration of creating that offering or taking decisions inside my business. That's what she has been doing. This is then the Muse Tarot. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So again, for strategy, business strategy, it's Paulina Cassidy Tarot. And for inspiration, it is the Muse Tarot. If you have some decks that you have been using for your business, let me know. If you use these decks in another way as well, let me know. And I hope this video could help you to find new ways to use these decks in your own decks. See you in the next video.